Welcome to the Immerse podcast. We are your hosts, Alex O'Keefe and Dan Ramsden.
We aim to immerse you in education via our guests, bring communities together, embrace positive change and help create solid habits that yield the path for our health and longevity.
Right, here we go. Welcome guys to a new podcast with the Immerse podcast. And we're back with another powerful guest, I'd say. Welcome, John Keys.
Thanks.
To the podcast, mate.
I saw the humble sigh then.
You know, I'd call you a local legend. I think that's what I'd call you. My first meeting with you was in the sauna, believe it or not. And someone else has just said that in there as well, Lee Tuck, didn't they?
I did.
So that, as luck may have it, the first interaction with you, John, for me personally, were in the sauna. And I just thought, this guy can tell a story. A good story.
Isn't that aligned with what we talk about with the brand, the ethos about what we're doing? It's exactly that, isn't it? You know what I mean? So
everything we do with the sauna business, it's all based around having unbelievable conversations, and this is what we're doing today.
Right.
John, for people that might not know who you are, can you just explain kind of a bit of who you are and a bit of your background, mate?
Yeah, I can a bit. So I grew up in a little village near Stratford-on-Avon. I'm one of 7 children.
Wow.
Dad, Irish immigrant, worked really hard and played really hard. Life was sort of tough growing up a bit, and then not so tough when Dad was doing well. But I came from, like I said, I lived in a village a long time, and fast forward many years and ended up moving to London in the end, where I became really successful, fell over a bit, and then came out the other side as a different person, really.
Sounds like a good story. Let's delve.
Some of it is.
For me, John, obviously you've done a lot of... One of the stories you told in the sauna actually was to do with your time at Arsenal Football Club. So
yeah.
I'd like to delve back into that part of your journey, mate, and kind of tell us exactly what your role was at Arsenal, how it came about.
Yeah.
How did you end up there, and what were you doing, mate?
So I was a National League hockey player many years ago.
Right.
And after my sort of National League-ish career, I ended up playing for Arsenal's community programme.
Right.
With a load of kids. There were 4 ex-National League players and then loads of young people from Islington who'd not really played hockey before. And that was my first sort of connection with Arsenal, really, having moved south. I worked in construction a long time, did 25 years in London as a project manager, project director, whatever you want to call it. And in 2009, I fell on some really hard times, made some terrible choices. Didn't see Liz and the kids for a while. But a friend of mine at Arsenal, who became one of my best mates, really, said, come and see me, and then offered me a chance to do some work in their community programme. He said, you'll be really good at it. Which I wasn't too sure about at the time.
Complete flip from what you'd ever experienced in work before.
Absolutely. I walked away from... I used to have hundreds of men working for me across London on different building projects. And...
So there were a little bit of a managerial background and communication skills. And
that didn't worry me too much.
Yeah.
It was a fact when they dropped me onto a housing estate in Hackney that had lots of social problems was my first real project. And I can look back at it now and say it's probably shaped me into who I am today, really. I think, and I say this a lot, I've probably got CDs in my basement that have never been opened. There were ties in my wardrobe that I've never worn because I earned a lot of money, I could buy them. After going through the experience we had as a family, ties aren't important, and nor how many CDs you can buy. So that was a real eye-opener for me. And Arsenal changed my life, really, I think.
Is it the perception of success and you know, what you thought were important, and then it changed that?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm not a rich man financially, but I feel quite rich with everything that I've got, if that makes sense.
Would you mind delving into the transition, like the struggle that you went through a bit? Let's just go in deep early.
Yeah, so made some really bad choices financially. Things weren't great, and the managing of the money, from my point of view, was terrible.
Can relate.
Yeah, so I don't have anything to do with that anymore. Liz does it. But I just think as well, it was that sort of, you know, I would do things for people, because this is how my father was. He would do things for people and he'd let people know that he did it. And before we went live, we were just explaining about, I don't really do that now. A little bit, but if I do something, I do it because I want to do it, or I'm able to do it. That's... and I don't want to be on the front page of the newspaper. I don't want my name to be written in anything, really. I just like doing it. And if we can survive and live as a family, and, you know, well, there's only me and Liz at home now anyway. But I think that's really important in a world of instant gratification that's wanted by children and adults alike. Are those things really important? I don't think so anymore. Anyway, I did, to have the newest car and to have the best suit. But my whole perspective on life changed, I think.
From that first sort of project you did with Arsenal then, is that a turning point? Tell us about that. What did you go
it was 8 miles from my house. There was a complete other world going on that I didn't know anything about. At the time it was termed as the postcode wars, and just developed into not a scary place to work, because I wasn't involved in it, I was only working in it. But, you know, kids couldn't go to Islington to play a football match from Hackney because it wasn't safe. That was crazy, and I thought, like, what do you mean? I'll never forget one of the first things I did. I took some lads from the housing estate I was working on to Islington to play a football match, and they were all adults. I had to go and pick them up in a minibus because they wouldn't go there otherwise.
Wow.
And drive them back later on and make sure they all got in their houses. But it actually made me realise how lucky I was, even though things hadn't been good, because I wasn't living in that world. And I think they all lived in a world dictated by other people and circumstances. But yeah, really good experience for me. I ended up with a few of the lads working for me, which was great, off the housing estate. Probably half a dozen of them got jobs with Arsenal. And just to see them living a different way is what really cheered me up.
That seems to be a kind of theme in your life ever since, I suppose, doesn't it?
Sort of. There's one lad, I actually met him when he was in jail in Feltham, and I sat on his bed in his cell, and I said to him, what do you want to do when you get out? And he said to me, you're the first person that's asked me that. He said, everybody else is telling me what I'm going to do, but you're asking me what I want to do. He is now a shareholder and the manager of the Juventus soccer school in Oman. I went to his wedding 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And just like a world away from when I met him, which is incredible. In fact, I messaged him yesterday because his little lad's not well, and he replied straight away. But those, you know, I've got hundreds of those stories, but my thing is with that, they've done it. I open the door and they walk through it.
Yeah.
And then we go from there, don't we? And he's a great example, that lad, of self-help.
So anybody can do it, can't they? If they're given the right tools and the right people that want to give them a voice and an opportunity. You spoke earlier about there's always a solution. You know, you've seen some of the, you know, the worst areas and the worst situations, but you're all about there is a solution to this, and how even some of the hostile environments that you've been in, you didn't feel fear?
No.
Why is that?
So I've always gone to church all my life. I didn't really understand what it was about, if I'm honest, because we had to go.
Yeah.
One of 7, all in the same pew. My dad was standing at the end, and if you smiled at the wrong time, his arm must have been 12 foot long, because it always managed to reach your head, which I think was really funny. And then, when things weren't great in 2009, I drove to a church. I'll never forget it, the time of my life. The snow was 2 foot deep on the ground, and I went to a church, and the priest couldn't see me, but he opened the church for me. And I'm quite happy to say I cried and I prayed and I sang for 2 hours on my own. And when I came out, I was fine. And my mother-in-law, Nanny Pat, she's affectionately known across the world, she said that God tapped me on the shoulder and said, I've got something else for you to do.
Wow.
And that's when the youth work started. So and I do believe that. I loved construction, but it really wasn't for me.
So you practically almost died, if you know what I mean, in a sense of everything about you had to cut ties with, and you had to be reborn almost.
Sort of, yeah.
Go right back to the foundations, the church, to get some sort of anchor, I guess.
Yep.
And then it's like, well, what will be now.
That's exactly it. And I'm one of those people, and Alex, you know me reasonably well, if we're doing something, we're doing it, and if we're not, we're not. So with my Arsenal job, I just threw myself into it. There weren't any set hours. You didn't do 9 till 3 or 9 till 5 or 8. You just did what you had to do. And the reason I did that was it was important to the people I was helping that they had somebody to reach out to. Loads of those young men I worked with didn't necessarily have any male role models. And yes, I'm a bit black and white about things, but I always think we can find a way through it. Nothing's horrendous or that bad that we can't find a solution. There might be some pain on that journey, but when we get to the destination, it's going to be worth getting to. That's how I would term it, really.
Yeah, nice. You've recently gone, that extra mile and work with kids in Africa, and can you explain the things that you've done there? Because I just think it's an unbelievable achievement, and I guess something again that will completely change your life and your way of thinking.
Yeah, so whilst I was at Arsenal, we were approached by an organisation that was called the Mears Foundation at the time to supply some kit for them to take out. So we did, and I facilitated that through Arsenal in the community. They contacted me again in 2010 and said, can we have some more kit? And I said, well, don't worry, because I'm coming with you. So I went myself to see what it was about. Obviously, I've got loads of construction experience, so there's things I can and can't do. I can't lay bricks, but I can knock walls down, that type of thing. Went out there, did 10 days, blown away by what I saw. Another big changing point in my life, I think. Got to the crossroads and went, Africa's straight on, I better go straight on. So I did. And I've been going ever since. That year we built a new computer suite in an orphanage, repainted roofs. It's not easy to paint a roof, by the way, in 31 degree heat.
I can imagine.
Yeah, corrugated roofs, it's very difficult. But anyway, that was just a funny part of the trip. But actually, what it means to the people there is what matters to me more than anything. So I've been going ever since. I was made a trustee of what is now the Footprints Foundation about 5 years ago. We do a project called Kit for Africa alongside our building and refurbishment work, which has probably seen us take 10,000 sports kits to South Africa in the last 10 years, maybe. Wow. We've got other contacts in Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, Ghana, going all over the place. But I know the joy that it brings when you put a little sports shirt on a kid who's never had one, and it's probably going to be the best shirt they ever own. And that might sound really harsh, but that's the reality of it. So by building schools and community centres, we're leaving something that lasts for people. You know, those feeding stations will always be there.
We spoke in the last podcast, didn't we, about we were all sort of chasing dopamine of some sort, and there's a crossover between enjoyment and fulfillment, and a lot of people just want the enjoyment as part of the dopamine that they're chasing. But where it's kind of really at is from the fulfillment side.
Yep.
And that was the last thing that we spoke about, wasn't it, on the last podcast? And it's like this is just tied in beautifully because that is it, isn't it? And that's something that will last, you know. And it's something that's that it can never be taken away. And I guess those feelings that you get, can you put that into words? What it feels like when you see what it means to those people?
I can try. For me, it's about. I've never been to Africa and not finished what we started. Because if I do, I'm the same as everybody else that they've always known. So we're going to build you this and it doesn't happen and the roof doesn't go on. We're not like that. So 2 years ago, we put a brand new building up in a school, 40 metres long, 10 metres wide. I went for a week and ended up staying for 3. And my instructions were from the other trustees. On 12 o'clock on the last Friday, it's got to be ready to open. So that was my remit.
Quite motivating, isn't it?
That's it, isn't it? You've got hundreds of kids on the school field at lunchtime going, are you doing our new building? We're going, yeah, we are. But it's not I don't feel I've really achieved something. The foundation have achieved it. That year, 40 people came together who didn't really know each other. But we all knew that the school had to be open at 12 o'clock on the last Friday. And you then, that motivation and momentum gathers within the group. You know, by tonight, I need to have all those ceilings painted. Don't worry, John, we're doing it.
Find a way.
You find a way.
I can imagine what sort of bonds you made with not just the kids that were there, but the actual people who were on the same mission.
Yeah.
You know?
You do. And I think, and I'll give a real first-hand example of that. My own son came with me 2 years ago. Our relationship has always been a bit up and down about his rugby, and I interfere too much and everything else. But we became a lot stronger when we were in Africa together because he'd seen pictures of it for 10 years and now he could touch it. It's not a picture of a kid, me holding a kid.
Yeah.
He's holding them. And he's going to feed children at a feeding station on a Friday afternoon, 1 hot meal a week. Crazy.
There's a difference in pictures and words and actually feeling something, isn't there?
Yeah, and that's a really good word. You can feel something physically, or in my head, you can really feel it in here. Because I think that's what's important, to be able to do that. And, you know, I would love, I said to you earlier on before we came on air, like I'd love to get 10 or 12 people from Halifax to come to Africa with me next October 26, because it'd be life-changing for them.
Shout out, there we go.
No, but I know it would be. I really think we live in a society where we go, yeah, well, I've got a new car. Oh, I better get another one next year. Well, actually, there's nothing wrong probably with the car that we've got, is there?
No.
It's just... I just think that there's an opportunity to grasp something. And if it has the impact on others that it's had on me, how good's that? Because the ripple effect's then taking place.
I'm going to put myself forward live on air. Maybe not next year, but the year after at least. I'd really want to make it happen. So if anyone else is listening and fancies it, get in touch.
Yeah, it'd be amazing. Yeah, really good.
Yeah, you've really perked my ears up with that.
Yeah. John, how would you say it changed you as a human being coming back to the UK after being in Africa? What sort of tangible changes do you think were made? Because, God, the perspective of it must be...
I think over the period of maybe from sort of January 2009 to say January 2012, I went those first sort of couple of years out of construction, the Africa thing had a massive impact on me. My wife could spot that as soon as I come back.
Yeah.
And like I'm going again now in 5 weeks, 6 weeks, and I'm getting a bit giddy, you know, a bit holiday-ish, like we're all going to lie in the sun. Well, I can't wait to get to Africa.
Yeah.
I would also say that in the last 16 years, my wife has been my rock.
She's a great woman.
So when I went for 21 days, I said to her I might not be back for a while. This was when I left Halifax at 12 o'clock on the 7th of October. I hadn't even taken off, mate, for me, threw on her hanger and said, I'll see you on the 28th. But there wasn't an issue with that. It's tough being away from each other, and we do speak every day. But we're that tight. But without her, I wouldn't have survived anything, and I wouldn't have been able to do what I do now without her there. And I think that's a real important message for me to share with people. Our relationship is so tight. She knows I love going, but she knows why I'm going.
Yeah. The intention.
The
intent,
correct. Yeah.
How important is it to have a good woman in your life or a good partner?
Well, it's everything for me. I don't mind saying it either. I've said it before publicly. She is my best friend, my soulmate, and there isn't anything that we can't get through, because as I said earlier on, there's always a solution. You've just got to find out how to get there. And together we're very good at that.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the Africa thing, she's behind me 100%. I don't know how she puts up with all the kit bags being stacked on the landing full of kit waiting to go, but we've had 2 or 3 years of that now.
Yeah.
But she knows where I'm going, and she does her own volunteering in Halifax.
Yeah.
With Calderdale Lighthouse. She loves it.
You've got to be like-minded, haven't you? And that's where the understanding comes from.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
She gets it.
She gets it, yeah. And because we're so close, she gets me.
Yeah. And was she with you throughout your struggle as well?
Yeah. That all came tumbling down and built it all back up. Yeah.
Nice. Well,
so, without her, I wouldn't have got back to where I am now. There's no question about that.
So I'm intrigued with that, because I've gone through a struggling relationship for a long time, which inevitably ended, and it was something that were my decision, but based on feeling that it was one-way traffic and that I was the one that were doing the work. What I'm trying to allude to here is, I know that I've spoken publicly about my relationship, and that particular podcast, I got a lot of people reaching out to me saying, I'm right where you were right now, kind of thing. And you're showing a different light. I've moved forward with my life without, and you've moved forward with your life working through the struggles. Were the things that you put in place, like, was the therapy, was the counselling, or did you just figure it out through communication and empathy? And, what were the things that helped you to rebuild, is what I'm trying to get at.
So communication was one, albeit we used to write notes for each other and leave them on the table at night time.
Was that a recommended thing, or was that just something that you
just something we started to fathom out? And also...
like, I hate you. See you in the morning.
I couldn't read all the hate mail in one go, to be honest. I had to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning. It wasn't like that. I love Liz. And we just found a way through it. She went to church every morning and prayed. I know she did after she dropped the kids at school. And it worked, didn't it? Because I got my tap on the shoulder and said, right, here we go. This is what we're doing. And it's, I think I said to you earlier on, people say to her, how'd you put up with him every day? And she says, oh, well, you don't really know him that well. But as long as she knows me, that's all that matters to me at the minute. People can take you or leave you, and you know yourself some life experience. You get on with some people, you don't with others. But her faith and strength is what got us through it all. There's no doubt about that. And I think it's amazing.
So it's like an admiration then that you have for her strength.
Yeah, and how do we get it back together? Because I was all over the place.
Yeah.
But I got my tap on the shoulder at the same time she was really praying a lot, and that brought us back together. And I think that's something that somebody said to me once, we live in a paper tissue society where when we've used something we throw it in the bin. I think if we looked around at what's going on now in the world, you go, we're right, aren't we? divorce rates are probably skyrocketing and relationships break down and we just give up because people think it's easier to walk away than it is to actually rebuild it. You know, I've rebuilt myself from being a construction manager, effing and jeffing everybody every day, to working with kids in primary schools and mentoring young people that are in trouble. We've got more than one skill, haven't we, all of us?
Yeah.
And it's about finding the best way to bring that out in other people.
Yeah.
And that's what she brought out in me, the best side of me, or the better side of me.
Nice.
That's really nice to hear, mate.
The next theme that I wanted to cover is that we're all fathers, and we're all on different parts of the journey. In that, Al's starting from the bottom with the Bambinos.
Yeah.
Coa
and Body.
How old is Coa now? 1 month?
6 weeks.
6 weeks.
6 weeks, yeah.
Bodie, 4?
Nearly
October.
4 in October, yeah.
So I've got 2 teenagers, and then you've got three adults.
We're covering all ranges of the spectrum here.
So my question there is, because I have a really tough tangle with this in my head, thinking, am I pushing too much? Do I need to push harder? The different people, you know, I've got a daughter and a son of different ages, so I find it quite a difficult tangle that I get myself into with it. And from your perspective now, having adults, is there something that you would change about fatherhood? And is there things like maybe advice? Because we've got a lot of parents that listen to this podcast that that have a variety of ages. You've gone through that and still continuing to go through that. You're still a father at the end of the day. They still need you. So yeah, the question is on reflection, what would be your advice to summarise?
That's really caught me off guard, to be honest. Well, my children are all grown up. I'm probably the one that's not grown up.
That's probably a good thing.
But I think as well, I think when you have children, there isn't a book to tell you how to do it, because everybody's different. What I would say, my children are what they are probably because of Liz. I've got lots of things wrong in the past. Me and Alex spoke about me and Joe doing a podcast about his career and how I've got things wrong in that. But it wasn't something I did intentionally.
Just so that people that don't know, Joe, your son, is current Bradford Bulls scrum half.
Yep.
So a very successful young man. So you can't have done something too far wrong in that. But yeah, continue. I just want to put some perspective on that.
No, that's fine. And I think as well that, and I believe it or not, only 2 weeks ago did I say to Liz, I was a bit upset at home. I'd read something and I just thought, have I got it all right with the kids, or have I got it all wrong? And I find it hard to talk about it because I love the kids to death. I'd do anything for them. But some of the things I did in the past were probably not in their best interest. Joe, a great example, maybe pushing too hard because he needed to find his feet with it. Yeah, he's successful.
What does that mean?
But
pushing too hard, because that's the tangle that I have with myself. Particularly with my son.
Yeah, so things like, have you been training? Have you done this? Have you done that? Da, 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 da. But then Joe's not me. I must remember that. Maisie and Max aren't me. But what I do look at is that they're all doing all right.
Yeah.
So something must be all right.
Yeah.
I don't think, like I said, there's no parent book, is there? What I have learned in the last 16 years probably from working with other children who don't have the support that my children had or people have in general, be grateful for your blessings.
Yeah.
That me and Liz have always worked.
Yeah.
And always been there, like you said, you if you feel like you made some errors, I certainly do as well. A lot of guilt and shame was a theme for me for a while. with the separation of my wife, etc. But as long as you're a constant figure, it's that constant and attention to detail. I think that kids need. They want attention, really, and your time.
They do, and I think it's interesting. So just relate that back to what we were talking about 5 minutes ago. Me and Liz are a constant.
Yeah. There we go.
So whether I might say the right or wrong thing to the kids, Liz will have a different perspective on it, but we're a constant. We're not up and down all the time. So there's a balance as far as that's concerned for them. Yeah, Dad's a bit like this, but actually, if you speak to Dad or ask him something in a different, or Liz asks me, she'll get a different answer to what the kids got, because I'll be going, how don't they know that? But they're all on their own journey, aren't they?
Yeah.
I never thought 20 years ago that I'll be developing young people in a high school to be better people. But I've experienced myself what it's like not to be a good person. So sharing that experience with them means a lot to me for what I'm doing now. And yeah, I just don't think we get everything right, do we? Even from our own perspectives. Should I go out with the lads tonight and not come home till 4 a.m? I'm not sure, but it seems like a good idea at 12:30. Do you know what I mean? We do though, don't we? I've done it in the past.
Yeah.
And now I'll go, it's 9 o'clock, it must be time to read and go to bed. You know, that I know that sounds daft, but we've all got those journeys. And I think the important thing on the parenting thing is, don't get off the bus. You've got to stay on the journey, and you'll get to the right place in the end.
Yeah. There's going to be a few bumps and hits on the way, but just me relating to probably my own relationship with my dad, you get to a point, maybe when you have your own children, and then that's an extra perspective, and you go, actually, fucking hell, you know, it wasn't a perfect upbringing, but my dad worked hard. He always showed up for us. You know, he were an imperfect human, but I understand that now, because it's fucking hard. Life's hard.
So I'm one of 7.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what it was like to try and provide food and a roof over their head for 7 children, because I ain't got 7 children.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Whilst we went out on the beer, that might have been pressure. It might have been because he liked having a beer. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm not bothered. He was still my dad. And I didn't want for much. And he told me how to get up in the morning, or taught me. He told me first, then taught me.
Yeah.
It's just what you do with it.
Yeah.
You just go to work. Yeah. I don't understand. I've had to work from 8 till 3 today. Oh, have you?
Sorry about that.
Come on.
Yeah.
And I think what you've just explained there, Alex, is perfect.
Yeah.
That they weren't perfect, but who is?
Exactly. It just gives you, you know, your relationship as a son and father, or a son and, you know, whatever, parent, it might go like this at one point, but eventually, boom, empathy, you understand.
I don't know if you've ever read it. There's a book by John Gordon called The Energy Bus. He's one of my favourite authors. John Gordon writes some brilliant books. And The Energy Bus is about a guy who's got a job at a business and he doesn't realise it, but he gets on the bus in the morning and the bus driver's attitude is really good. And all of a sudden he changes his perspective over the various bus journeys. There's also a book tied to that which explains to you how to use the book to teach other people. And The Energy Bus is all about, you're driving your bus. Don't worry what anyone else is doing, you're driving your bus. And there will be some passengers you pick up at the bus stop who are energy vampires that drain you. Well, actually at the next stop, put them off your bus because you don't need them. Do you know what I mean? It's all that positive, you know what we talk about when we catch up about things.
Yeah.
And I just think if you use that as an analogy for what you're doing, we're doing this tonight, you might be, but my bus is going left here. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I think it's a great way to look at things.
Yeah.
You don't need all the passengers, do you?
You don't.
It's a nice analogy, mate, yeah.
As I found out, yeah.
Yeah, well, you don't.
Yeah.
Because what they're actually doing is they're making your situation worse.
Yeah.
So if you were driving a bus and there's loads of drunks on it and you go, when are these lot getting off?
Yeah.
Well, actually, don't pick them up in the first place. And if you do, let them off as soon as you can. Because if we don't...
You're driving it.
Correct. You're driving your own bus. I do that with young people in high school.
Yeah.
What do you mean I'm driving the bus? But when you read them the book and they get it.
Yeah. Love that.
So the key to it really is to have a little sit down with yourself and understand what your destination is. Because a lot of people go quite aimlessly about things and end up taking themselves on a detour around town and a town that they never should have been down because they didn't know which lane they should have been in the first place. Do you know what I mean?
No, that's explained it perfectly.
It comes down to understanding yourself and your own wants and desires first and foremost, but then having the courage to speak about, no, we're not doing that. We're going to do this instead. And no, I'm going there. It's a lot of courage involved in it to step out to say, no, this is not what I'm going to accept anymore, whether that be work or relationships or whatever it is. So
there's a great video, which is obviously a video, a clip of a film which has been on Instagram, and it's Morgan Freeman. I can't think of the film, but
great actor,
brilliant. And he says things like, talking to this lady, and he went, you know, when you want patience, do you pray for God for patience? He doesn't give it you straight away. He gives you a situation to demonstrate patience. When you ask him for courage, does he go and fight a lion? Or does he give you another situation to be courageous? Because you don't get things straight away, do you? And even the concepts we're talking about, you don't read a book and go, tomorrow I'm going to be this. It's all a journey. And it takes time to understand all those things.
Yeah. I'll just demonstrate a gift from God for patience. So, a new father, little Koa, newborn baby. Obviously, part of my role as a father is changing nappies. So, obviously, done his business. There, changing it, put a fresh nappy on. 10 seconds later. All right, okay. Change that again. 10 seconds later. Soiled again. 4 times. So that were
like
I'm thinking,
dad.
yeah, just like his dad. But that was just a proper example of, wow, this little man is a message. It's a blessing, but there's a message there saying, you know, this is patient. This is proper patience. Changing a nappy 4 times.
So for me, an example for me would be when I worked in construction and I said, you need to build that wall, I wouldn't expect them not to do it. I just expect them to do it straight away. When I was working in Hackney, those kids weren't used to having people telling them what to do. So the telling thing wasn't really an option because they wouldn't get it straight away. It took time. Don't do that. Don't drop rubbish outside your own house. Do you know what I mean? And those things took a long time to get into people, some quicker than others. And I'm not known for my patience, but if you really get to know me, some things I'm really patient about. Because you have to be, or you're never going to get the end result out of it. I want this lad to be this lad could be this.
Yeah.
And his journey will be 6 months, but yours is going to be 6 years.
I've got clients like that. Yeah.
I just think it's really important. And it is about having a deeper understanding of yourself, a deeper understanding of how the world works.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not being judgmental, I guess, you know, because we've all got a different perspective, you know, in terms of, you know, for example, you had siblings, you had a mother and father, you know, and things like that. And some people don't.
Yeah.
And they have a completely different reality. So it's like, it's coming from the non-judgmental standpoint and staying in your own lane and just trying to help and listen and support. I think that's one thing that I've noticed with training some of my clients.
Yeah.
You know, some of them want to come and get lean, and for whatever reason they can't. So I'll sit with that with them and I'll try and figure that out, almost like in a therapist standpoint, even though I'm not a therapist. But that's why some journeys just take longer, and that's okay. And some of those journeys have tested my patience to the wire as well. But then they've come round the other side and said, thank you, because you didn't quit on me. And they've probably had people quit on them before. and they just thought their self-worth were not enough and things like that, whereas everyone's enough.
But your ability to demonstrate understanding on their journey is what probably keeps them with you, isn't it? The fact that you don't go, I'm wasting my time here, mate. What? You go, actually, let's sit down and try and work it out and see where we get to in this period of time. Whereas other people just go. So when I worked in Ireland, for example, I worked on a housing estate that I think the state had just gone, we can't deal with them people, we'll just paint the housing estate red. Well, that's only because you don't know the people. Go and talk to the people and go into their houses and have a cup of tea with them and find out what their frustrations are on what's not working and how can we slowly implement things that will work. That's the same thing that you're doing with your clients, isn't it? You've got to get to know them and understand. Whereas when I worked in Ireland, a judgment had been made, no. And I'm going, wow, hold on a minute. And I think it is that. And my understanding of myself, I would say, in the last 16 years has probably gone off the charts because I didn't really know myself. I thought I did. But again, I'll go back to it. No one knows me better than Liz. No one.
What were some of the shackles that you had to cut ties with in terms of who you were to who you are now, you know, and that transition? What are some of the things that you had to let go of and almost that part of you die? I'm
not bothered about money at all. I haven't got any. Well, I'm not a wealthy man, but it doesn't worry me. Because when I did have it, it didn't really work with me either. I don't think... I think what really changed in me was I didn't have to be patted on the back every week. Not construction-wise, not socially. Am I fitting in with these people? Or does it really matter if I fit in or not? Not really. It mattered to me at the time.
Self-worth and... Yeah, like an acknowledgement. And
yeah. Well, John Keyes did that. Now, I've lived here for 7 years and you know me pretty well, but not many people I wouldn't think would know what I do or what I am doing, or, you know. And again, I'm not particularly bothered. What's important is that the kids I mentor in high school, if they get better grades than they were planning to get when we started working together, tick. And some will recognise it, some won't. But it doesn't matter to me because we've been on a journey together. And I can see it in people. So if we use the high school as an example, I worked with children for 6 months. I can see the difference after 4 weeks. So after 6 months, the change is massive. And a lot of them, they have to fill in an evaluation for the school at the end of working with me. And they, 2 things you liked, as many things as you didn't like in a box. And they put, I wish I could have seen John every day. And that's not me being big-headed, because we just have a great relationship. I go to work in shorts, trainers and a hoodie. They're more likely to come and speak to me, aren't they, than someone in a shirt and tie and a suit, I think, anyway. And that's proved itself. And it's proved itself over time that if you demonstrate your integrity, I think is the right word, and your trustworthiness, they'll come and speak to you about anything. So that's...
I think me and you, John, we're obviously down at Heiss, which we'll talk about soon, mate, but we have as regular check-ins, coffees, good check-ins. And when you first told me what you do in schools, it just blew my mind. And I just thought, flipping heck, we need a John in every single school in the UK. Because it's stuff. I mean, explain what you do there, because what you told me, my title, what I've almost given myself, is Personal Development Officer in school. I just thought, fucking hell, amazing.
Yeah, so that's what I was described as at Holmfirth High School's Ofsted report.
Right. Sorry, you didn't call it yourself, did you?
Sorry? No,
I just said you named that yourself.
I didn't know my Personal Development Officer. But that's what they refer to it as in the Ofsted report at Holmfirth High School. But, so...
Every school needs that.
Every school needs that.
10, 12 years ago, again, at Arsenal, really lucky, they invested in lots of things. So me and another guy who was a bit more academic than me wrote a self-development book. We got it accredited through OCN for year 9s and above, so you got a level 1 qualification for it. When I left Arsenal, I said, are you okay with me still using it? It's not accredited because you need to go through local authority stuff and all the rest of it, and education providers. However, I'm still using that book, and it's probably got 15 more pages in it than it had when we wrote it. So at Home Firth, I work with year 11 students who we think is called the GCSE strategy. If they're getting 3s and 4s, we need them to get 5s and 6s. But it's not about maths and English. It's about what are your 10 daily disciplines. So I love it because kids write down 10 things and I go, right, now you've written them down, use a highlight pen and tell me how many you do every day. And if we're lucky, there'll be 4. But at least they know what the daily discipline should be. We do things like self-reflection. Oh yeah, let's be more reflective. Okay, well, you can say that to anybody. But what does that actually mean? So one of my questions in my book is, how's school going at the moment? What you're struggling with? What do we need to work on? They're identifying it. It's not me telling them.
It just sits deep, this, doesn't it? Don't you think? This needs to be in this. Right, let's get this book all over the UK, please. Thank you.
But with that sort of stuff, it's interesting what they write down. So at the end, on a Monday, when I was on school Friday, back-to-backs, 5 groups of 6 children minimum. On Monday, it's my reflection time to look down and go, wow, I can't believe Alex has written that, or Dan's written that, or you go, wow. But it's really important because they're developing themselves without them knowing it. It's like reading a book.
Correct.
Yeah. Just facilitating the space for them to think.
And what I do, and one of the lads said last year, he went, I didn't really get the book, but some of your stories were great. But actually, my stories were in the book about how Dean turned his life around after going to court and we got him out of it and we did something else with him. That was all about self-reflection with Dean. Am I doing the right things? So all these themes are all tied in. And as you go through the book, when it says, write down 5 things you liked about the course, you can flick back through the book and have a look because all the answers are in the book. You know, personal values, been using it for 12 years.
Why is this stuff not in school?
Oh, I don't know me. I'm not an education provider. I would love to work in a different school every day doing the same things, giving you opportunity. I will say this, the head teacher at the school I work at has been amazing and has put a huge faith in me with my abilities and what I do. I worked there originally for someone else, and after 6 weeks he came to me and said, you're coming to work for me. And that's how it's kicked on from there, really. I've been there 5 or 6 years now.
It gives me a lot of hope as a dad of 2 young children that there is stuff like this happening, and with the head teacher who's consciously putting this in place, I just hope that it, continues to grow.
If I had sort of a couple of wishes, one would be, don't be scared of doing things differently. I know I'm a bit different, not in a big-headed way, obviously, because that's not me. But we were watching something the other week, I don't know if you saw it, it was a programme about ADHD on TV, and it said that 1 in 7 people is neurodivergent. And Liz looked at me straight away and went, hey, you're one of 7 children. And it's probably true.
Yeah.
But I don't tackle things as other people would probably tackle them, because I don't think that's how you do it all. You need, it's like a football team or a rugby team. You need people with different skills and different vision and different physical capabilities. And to make that work, that all needs to come together at the right time. So for me, you could have a pastoral team in a school and they'll go, you'll never do any good with Alex. And I go, well, how do you know?
Yeah. questioning things like that's well important.
Give me 4 weeks and let's see where we get to.
Yeah.
This year particularly, I had one girl who was sent to me in year 9. Nah, she won't get you at all. Wrote me an absolutely beautiful card. When she left on the day of the last exam, just dropped it on my desk when I wasn't there. Crazy. But the girl I couldn't reach, I reached by doing things differently. That's how, and I think that's what's wrong at the minute. It's all a bit
rigid.
Yeah, it's a bit rigid, and we've become too. We've got to get here. Well, we have, but we might not get there today.
Yeah.
We need to be able to be flexible, accommodate different sorts of young people. So I think that's really important. And even in some of the other stuff that I do in sport and that, you just got to treat every case as it comes.
Yeah. No cookie cutter approach. That's where things go wrong, eh?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think those times as well is really where things are obviously formed. You know, beliefs, self-confidence, awareness, knowing your path. There's a lot of young people that are very lost because of the system. And like you say, things being rigid and this is the way and you must, just do this and stay in line and things. And it's like, we're not all supposed to do that.
No.
There's got to be different ways. And I understand that must be a very difficult task. To break that down into and manage it as a theme and a structure. But surely there needs to be more things, more conversations like this, and more ways of doing things, for sure. Because those times can really mould a person. Did for me for a lot of years. I had very little confidence. Like what we're doing right now, I wouldn't have dreamt of this in my 20s.
Same.
Absolutely not a chance, because I didn't have the confidence to do it. Couldn't even get a sentence out without being so self-aware. And it took years of practice to bring myself out of it. So, and I think if younger people can, acknowledge that message earlier and know that there is a path for them, it needs to be done.
But do you not think that we're too busy telling people other things? We're too busy going, you're all sitting over there and you're all sitting over there.
Yeah, divided. Well,
actually, let's just sit in the same room and let's see who's happy to speak. One thing I've really noticed about working with young people in schools is, and I often say this to them, who doesn't put their hand up in class in case anybody else laughs? So there's 10 kids and 8 put their hand up.
Yeah.
Okay, why not? Well, what if somebody makes a comment and says that I'm silly or stupid or... Well, the reason they haven't put their hand up is because they fear the same thing. We've got to get rid of that fear. I want people to ask me questions because it means they're interested in what we're doing. Or they want to know what the next bit is. I only asked recently, working in a school with a group of parents who didn't put their hand up in class, they were scared. All 10 of them. What are you scared of? I know that sounds really simple. We're worried that on the way home the other 9 are going to go, hey, what about that? What about this? Crazy.
That just goes on into later in life, doesn't it?
So when we need help, we're unable to ask for help. And that's what we should be able to do.
What if they think I'm weak?
I came up with a concept in London, and it didn't get finished, but when I was at Arsenal, we made 2 music videos. They're both on YouTube. I rewrote the lyrics to a UB40 song and made them about gun and knife crime, which we recorded really and put out. And then I did another one with Niall Rogers, where I worked in an all-girls school. Incredible journey. Yeah.
Wow.
Incredible. But the reason I'm talking about that is I also wanted people to understand during that period that help's everywhere. You just need to be able to ask for it. So one of the common themes, going back to my very first housing estate project for Arsenal, the lads used to say, hey, I never thought a middle-aged white guy could turn up and try and help us. Because their concept of that was, who's this bloke? And we need to get away from that, don't we? Yeah. We need to be able to go. I need to be able to go and ask John Keys if he can help me do this. And if I didn't know, I'd find somebody that did know, because I was bothered and cared about what we were doing. I think these days it's all a bit cut, kids don't go for CAMS appointments because the system is overrun.
Mm.
But if we don't help those children, what's it going to be like in 10 years' time?
Mm.
So we need to be able to facilitate more things, don't we? It might not always be the way that we thought it would be, but we need to be able to point them in the right direction. So I had this plan in my head about making this video where a guy would be walking down the road with his dog, and you know the little vest things, the dogs, what do you call them?
Harness.
Like a harness.
Yeah.
And on the side of that harness would be help. That the policeman walking down the road, you see the front of him, but actually on his back it said help. Because help's everywhere. But we need to know how to identify it and how to ask for it.
Yeah.
And we don't, because we're worried about showing that we're weak or we're not able to deal with things.
Oh, what are they going to think, or what are they going to say? It's all the what ifs, isn't it?
So a great example, they opened a sexual health clinic on Holloway Road in London, and nobody went to it. It was called the Brook Centre, I think. When they took the sign down, everybody went.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know that sounds stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I saw Alex walking there. You still wonder what's up with him.
Yeah.
Because that's what society's like.
Riddled.
Yes, yeah. I don't think he's coming out, but the point is,
Yeah.
don't put a flashing light on it. Just let people know they can go there.
Do you know what? Just for people who are local in Halifax, I'm just relating. There used to be a place in called Laura Mitchell in Halifax, right? And it used to be off the main road into a bit of a quieter sort of space, right? And then they made the new Broad Street Plaza.
Oh yeah.
Fucking, you need to walk into the clinic on the fucking main road. So I can guarantee you that people won't be walking.
I just think it would deter people.
But
they've got you on facial
heckling people with your sandwich.
They've got you on facial recognition there now. Here he comes.
Yeah.
But I just think with all that stuff, even related to the schools, to the work with the gangs, the work in Ireland, people need to know that you're good. If you're working in that arena, for me, and somebody said to me once in London, "You're too emotionally involved," I went, "No, I'm not. I'm just care."
Yeah.
That could be one of my kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
It could be one of yours. It could be one of yours. And if they're not comfortable asking us, we need to know they can go somewhere where there's someone they can trust, don't we? That's. I think that's really important.
Yeah, definitely. Just before we close off, John, let's talk about Heist. Heist HQ.
Oh yeah.
Big shout out to our good friend Joe Keys, your son. Zach, Connor, Curtis.
Great lads.
Fantastic lads, great place. Somewhere we go regularly. You were a big part of that, mate, weren't you? So
yeah.
Talk us through the erection of Heist.
You just get involved in amazing stuff, don't you?
No,
that's
not
all
really.
there is to it.
That wasn't amazing.
It is now.
The old project manager came back out, didn't it?
Yeah, a bit. So I did say to Joe at the start, "Do you want some help?" And he was quite adamant they were going to do it themselves, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And they got to a point, and then I just sort of gradually got involved in it, really, because I knew they had deadlines to meet. We had things to get done.
Yeah.
And having done it for a long time before, things soon come back into your head, don't they? They get stored in a part of our brain, and we go, "Actually, I know what to do here."
Yeah.
Very much comes to the fore in Africa, where you can't go to Juicens. You've got to make do with what you got, sort of thing.
Do you know what? Just before you go there, I've just seen a direct connection between you going out to Africa and building these sacred places. Now you've helped build one in Brighouse.
So I got involved in it, and it was, a few crosswords along the way, a bit of shouting and screaming. But I think what they're trying to create is really good. I didn't think I'd ever go for saunas, because when I played hockey and all that wasn't done. It wasn't around. And also that the vibe of Heist is really good. That's what I like about it.
Yes.
So was it last week I was over there, actually Liz was working there, and I just took a book over and had a coffee and sat in one of them nice chairs in reception and just thought, how good's this? Because it has a Heist isn't the sauna at JD, where you are fighting for a place and there's no social space either there. And I know it's not a gym, but I think the mixture of the contrast therapy and the chill out is really good, because I think they go hand in hand.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, it was a tough journey to get it open, but we got it open. It seems to be going okay. I'm pleased for the lad that it's going okay, and also that they're actively involved day to day in what's going on. I think if they weren't, I'd look back at the time I spent there and think, why did I bother doing that? But like, I met Joe there this morning at 7 o'clock, you know, and he's there opening up himself and setting up and making coffees and all that sort of thing. And as we all know, when you're in business for yourself, that's what you have to do.
I think that establishes what it's going to become, though. You know, that personal touch. If I'm honest, that's the reason why I continue to go there. There's places popping up now. You know, this is becoming a theme of a healthy way of living life. But I go there for the lads, for the deep connections that I have, the like-mindedness, the fact that they're all athletes and they get it. But they're also, there's always been a bit of a crazy culture in rugby of, you know, you work hard and you play harder kind of thing. And they're bringing in a new way of thinking where it's a lot more reflective and it's deeper and it's not just craziness. And I like that, you know. So I go for that reason as well. You know, it's not just going to sit in a sauna. It's everything about the experience, and you can only really get that through the love of the people that are running it.
I think so. I think as well with that, I think that's a bit about life in general. So when we lived in London, I had a personal trainer at the gym, but he wasn't really training me in my head. He was taking money off me every week. Can you relate to that? Because it wasn't a personal relationship. I'm paying you for this. Whereas what you described earlier on when you're talking about your own clients and journeys that people go on, I think Heist was a vision of what could possibly happen, and I think it's evolving into that, as you've just alluded to. You go in and you see Joe, and you know Joe's all right because Joe's a normal bloke. So Zach, I go in the morning and say to Zach, "Well, you're early." I'd like to be at 7:15. I know you did, boss, but I'm just saying you're early for you. You can have. There's a nice environment there. The reception to me, and I know people go for the therapy, the reception makes Heist. It's airy, it's good, you can sit down. I mean, I normally see you there, don't we? Sit down for half an hour.
That's where we chat.
That's where we connect. And I think that it's got that thing about it. I don't know what it is, and if you could bottle it, you'd make a fortune. But it's just got that thing about it that it's a nice place to be. It's clean, it's tidy, and they're offering people other things. So at the minute, I'm doing the hyperbaric chamber thing to try and help me with my recovery. But I don't think I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't at Heist, if that makes sense. I'm trying it because I know they're trying to help people. And my experience of it so far is really good. I never thought I'd have a sauna and be sitting in there with a woman who's reading a book, and I'm going, "Do you come all the time?" She went, "I love coming here to read my book." She sat in a sauna. I'm like, "What are you doing?" But it's how she relaxes. So people find it different, don't they? And you're right, the hard-hitting, let's play on Sunday and go out drinking till Wednesday, that's all gone. That's a thing of the past. But yeah, I think it's good. I think what they've got is, and I think it's like a lot of new things or ideas that are coming out in the last few years, Heist is a bit of a community, I would say.
100%, yeah.
There's good people that go there. I met Suey there a few weeks ago.
Suey, great guy.
And we just sat talking about, actually we were talking about a book he was reading, and I'd already read it, and we just got talking to him, what about this one? And then it just developed, and then I got Suey to do some work in a school up here, which the school loved. I think those sort of networks with like-minded good people And people aren't at Heist because they've been out for 2 days. They're there because they want to make themselves better. Do you know what I mean? They want to be healthier and live better lives.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the concept's really good. I look back at it and think, what a real good experience for me and for them. But I just hope it's a success. You know, we're nearly a year in. It's going all right. Dan, as you said, you like going there, don't you? And that's what you want people to do. It's not
Of course, yeah.
I've got to go to Heist today.
Yeah.
I just wonder, like, how they're gauging success. Obviously, financial is one arm, but just how we talk about it here. I mean, that's fucking already a success, surely. Look what they've created. It's the people that go there. That's what you said. It's community. It's, you know you're gonna go into that sauna or that waiting area and probably connect with someone on some sort of level. That's why we're doing the saunas.
You don't get that many opportunities these days to do that.
Because we're all racing around trying to looking for instant gratification.
It's slowing us down a little.
Yeah.
Just slow down.
You know, getting an opportunity to look at somebody's eyes and engage with them for a little while.
Have you got time for a coffee?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Always.
Yeah, or 2, or 3. But so I went to a training event there. I put somebody on to Joe and said, look, they want to host this thing. They loved it. There's only 15 people there. Move the tables around, project onto the wall. Great. And I think that's something else they could do.
Yeah.
So, for example, when you were talking earlier on, experience in the past, helping people on health programs and lose weight and all the rest of it. What's stopping you doing a talk there about personal fitness and training?
You just took the words out of my mouth. It just literally that light bulb just went off in my head.
If your well-being is, if you're struggling with whatever it is, or you need some support on this, there's a free event on Wednesday or Tuesday night at Heist. You open on Tuesday. Come down, have a look what we're doing. This is what I do. This is what Heist can do. Because to me, I think they're sitting on diamonds and haven't realised it yet. Loads of parking, out of the way. Go back to our sexual health clinic. No one's going to go, hey, I saw Keezy Dad going to Heist yesterday. Because they're not going to do that, are they? Because it's a good vibe. But if you held something like that, how do we know you're not going to get 10 people and go, right, I'm running a group on a Wednesday. For the first 6 weeks, it's only going to be this, and let's see if we can get stuck into it. And then when people buy into it, you might get another 5 clients from it, or just think all those things would need exploring.
Ties in. There's so many chances to collaborate, isn't there?
Yeah.
I see with the business side of it as well. Me and Joe were talking about it, like, you know, a corporate package. My window cleaning business, I've got a business membership at Heist. I think I was the first one to sign up, which is nice. But the lads that work with me with my window cleaning business can go. We've got credits every month. They can go whenever they want because it's such a valuable asset to your team.
I know it sounds daft what you're talking about. These are the sort of things, we didn't do that sort of thing at Arsenal. We used to go and do things for the day altogether that were absolutely not connected to our job. And you come back and go, how good was that? I've never thought about doing that before. So, for example, if where we are now, they've got 10 guys. You go, Heist are opening on Tuesday, we're all going together for the morning. Let's go.
How good would that be?
Because then you are not talking about work. We normally talk about books, don't we? To be honest, and how things are going generally in life. You're not talking about work, it's a different environment. You're not sitting in a coffee shop where you're a number that goes through and gets ticked. I just think it's a great chance to do things differently. And go back to what I said 20 minutes ago. I like doing things differently. So if we could sow a little seed with everybody about just taking care of themselves a bit more or whatever it is they're doing, just think it would be so good. But going back to your first question, I think Heist could be really good. I love walking down wherever I'm going and I spot a Heist hoodie and I go, wow, they've bought a hoodie. And just for the record, I had to pay for both of mine as well, just so you know, I didn't get them for free. But yeah, I hope it works for them. I think they're working hard at it, and
they are.
It's a good project.
It is. We'll continue to support.
We will.
So, John, for the purposes of the podcast, we're going to wrap it up there, mate. But you know, I think we'll get you back in because I've got questions here that I've not even delved into, so we need to explore. John, thank you. I think what you're doing is inspiring, amazing. Thanks. I love talking to you. I love that we've formed a relationship recently, and keep doing the good work, my friend.
Oh, thanks ever so much for having me on. I probably talk too much sometimes, but I love the opportunity to try and spread the word with people that, you know what, life ain't that bad. There's a better way forward, and if you need help, ask for it.
There you go.
Nice. Lovely. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
Cheers, man.
Yes, John.